Hi, I'm Sarah and today I'm going to be doing a sustainable goth fashion haul because I kind of want to prove to myself as well as to everyone else that just because there are so many huge brands out there catering to us now, it doesn't mean you have to be like buying so much from them and causing so much harm to like the world, and just the amount of clothes that are thrown out is ridiculous, and I try so hard to kind of reduce my impact. I understand that like sometimes you want something new and that's okay, you can get that, but you don't have to be buying a whole new wardrobe every 2 seconds. There are so many good secondhand resources out there where you can get things vintage, or you can get just secondhand brand names that you like. Some of the stuff that I have here is UNIF, secondhand UNIF. I have like a whole collection of secondhand UNIF because they don't make good pieces anymore. And D'Andre and the Ragged Priest, and stuff like that. So it's not just cheaper in the long run to buy things secondhand, even though you're not getting those pieces like straight away, you have to work for them a little bit more, but it's a lot kinda for the world. And I mean, at the end of the day, you're not just wearing the same things that everyone else is wearing, you're wearing something a little bit more unique, and that speaks towards the goth subculture as a whole, which a lot of people forget, which harks back to like originally, you know, DIY, and these brands didn't exist back in the day, so they would buy secondhand clothing and make it work, and it was all about creativity, and it was kind of like a place for poorer people to celebrate their worth, because it wasn't all about buying brand names, it was like the opposite of buying brand names. And although like the subculture has changed, I don't think we should forget about its history, and I think it's important to like what the culture means today in being like different and what it used to mean. Anyway, clothing. One of my favorite places to get alternative clothes that are sustainable and reuse them is Depop, because you're shopping secondhand, but these brands are new brands, like they're brands that are out there and selling at the moment. Most of this clothing is like barely even worn, it's like brand new, and it's like still relevant, like if that's important to you. Plus you can get some really cool just little silly bits and pieces. First piece that I got is this pair of UNIF pants. They're like a red velvet kind of suede-y fabric. They're definitely not suede, but like a red velvet. I got these. They're a little bit small for me, but I'm currently in the process of losing weight, so hopefully it'll start to fit me a little bit better. But I thought that I might wear colour a little bit more if it was in pant form, because that's like more accessible for me. But yeah, they're really cute. I had these in the shorts version. I'm actually selling them on my Depop. Feel free, links in the description. But yeah, you can get like UNIF clothing. This was pretty damn cheap, but they are DIY'd. Like, I'm not fussed about the stitching on it, apart from the fact that the seller didn't actually tell me that there was stitching on it. So tip number one for reselling your secondhand clothes, can you try and be honest? And then people will still probably buy your clothes, but like, come on. I got this on Depop from a model slash designer called Tell Coco, who I'm obsessed with, her brand, but she posted on Instagram that she had uploaded some new stuff to her Depop, and one of these pieces was this D'Andre like PVC top. It's so pretty. I like fell in love with it as soon as I saw it and had to snatch it up before anyone else. But yeah, it fits me perfectly. A little bit tight. I'm not really into that like super slim fit. I just can't really wear it at the moment because it's summer here in Australia and this is really warm. But I love me some vintage D'Andre clothing because they don't make these styles anymore, and their older stuff was a little bit more like hardcore and like belty. They've gone in more of a Victorian kind of way. Yeah, but it's super cute. Like the little collar, PVC, hidden buttons, so cute. A really cool deal that I was so excited for that I got on Depop was I did a bundle, and in that bundle were 3 things. This first thing is this drop dead overall skirt. It's super cute. It's got like barbed wire embroidery in the straps, and it's like dark denim, a little bit oversized on me, but you can make it work. It looks super cute. I'm so excited to wear it, and it's really warm. I just have to fix these straps because I am short. In that same bundle, I got this really cute A Friend's shirt. It's kind of got like a vintagey feel to it, and it says Hellraiser on the back, which is super cute. It's like a faded black. I really like A Friend's. It's like more of a trendy brand, but it makes some like edgier, like wearable pieces. Last in that like little haul bundle was just this huge comfy red cardigan. Like, how cute is this? I've been wearing it all the time. It's so comfy and soft, and this is like the cheapest of the bundle. It's like not brand name, it's just like sports girl, but it's my favorite. It's so comfy and wearable, and it's great for those weird cool days. Well, that's all from Depop, but I do shop on eBay as well. eBay is a little bit of a mess when buying secondhand clothing, but because you put in more work, it's actually like you can get some really cheap stuff on there. And like the tip I would give is to consistently look, and then you will be able to snatch things up like as soon as they appear on the side. What I do is I use saved searches, so I have certain brands in saved searches like Unif, D'Andre, Black Milk, 2 different variations on the spelling of Doll's Kill, one with like a space, one without, because like on eBay no one can spell, just trust that no one can spell. Disturbia and Current Mood, they're my favorites. Always checking D'Andre because they are a smaller brand, so you don't really find many of those, but when you find a good deal, you find a good deal, and it's really good. Speaking of D'Andre and eBay, I got this amazing dress from. It's not really wearable in the everyday. It's like this huge, long, knee-length black dress. One of the, I think they're still making this one. It's got a little black collar. It's got really long sleeves. It's a little bit big for me on the waist. I might have to bring it up a bit, but that's just because I'm short, not because of the wrong size, because it fits me literally perfectly. But yeah, this would retail for probably like at least $100 on their website, like Australian. I think I got it for like 30 Australian on eBay, even though it's so huge and hefty and intense. But it's definitely like a photo shoot dress. It's not really something I'm gonna be wearing out and about every day. It's just not very like conventionally flattering, if you know what I mean. Next on eBay is something that it's like a piece I've been looking for a really long time, for a really strange reason, and I only just got it. but it is like a blazer. Still got the tags on it and everything. It was actually pretty overpriced because they charged extra shipping for it. But you gotta do what you gotta do. But it's a blazer with the blazer front, but it's like short sleeved and it's black and it's got these like buttons in the front to make it kind of like a vest. And it's super weird for me to buy this, but I've had this idea for so long of like doing an outfit of the day or something like that, inspired by Shiloh from Repo the Genetic Opera, because her style is so interesting and unique and has inspired me since I was like a little kid and I first watched that movie. If you haven't seen it, I recommend. It's like an industrial goth musical with so much like cool styling and stuff like that. It's so interesting. And I mean, if you're watching a video on sustainable goth fashion, you're probably interested in the kind of ideas that it talks about, because it's all about like ethics in like the medical field in the future, like of like just buying other people's organs and repossessing organs and stuff like that. But that's what I want for that. I already have the skirt and the shirt to match and everything. I just have to put it all together now and maybe get like a long wig. My hair's pretty long at the moment. And that's all for my eBay stuff. I don't buy very much on eBay because you have to be a little bit more choosy. It's harder to find things. But when you do, you find some really cool stuff. So next up, I've got one item each from some particular stores I like to shop at for secondhand clothing online. So all of this is online. I don't really find very much in my area. The thrift stores are pretty meh. Because I'm not rural, but I'm like kind of rural. Anyway, so these shorts I got from a store called Nothing on TV Vintage. I'll link them in the description, but they're super cute. They're kind of like a disco short. It's like vintage secondhand stuff that they sell, but it's all kind of like, it's an interesting kind of store because she puts up a lot of like normal vintage kind of stuff, but styles it in a particular way where you get like alternative inspiration. But these shorts I was so obsessed with. I've been like considering buying these shorts for so long. They're like disco shorts, cute little ones. I'm obsessed with wearing like shorts. And they have this cute little black Sabbath patch on them. They're super fitted and comfy. And I love Black Sabbath, so I'll wear this in my huge oversized Black Sabbath shirt. But definitely check out Nothing on TV Vintage. It's the one person store. She has so much cool stuff on there, and it's not overpriced. Most vintage stores like mark up their products so much, but it's like reasonably priced, and you can find some really cool. She has like so many like vintage band shirts. Like she had one for The Cure, The Crow, I think maybe a Bauhaus one. She has a Strokes one as well. It's really cool. Lastly, I got this beautiful grommet belt from the vintage section of Tunnel Vision. Tunnel Vision is like a vintage secondhand store. It's such a huge focus on like alternative vintage fashion. But I've been seeing these grommet belts everywhere. They're kind of like a 90s thing, but I didn't want to get like a cheap, crappy new one because getting secondhand ones is so like available. So I got this one. It's like a mud belt. It's super cute. I'm so excited to wear this over some oversized t-shirts. But yeah, Tunnel Vision is a really good website. It's definitely more of a traditional vintage website in that you have to sift through a lot of clothing that's kind of like meh. It's not like Nothing on TV, which is very much like a singular kind of style. But Tunnel Vision has more of a range. It's got so many sizes, from like extra large to like extra small. Sells shoes and bags and stuff like that. But it is marked up, vintage stuff, and it's like sells out really quickly because it's such a popular site. Shit. Anyway, that was my secondhand vintage clothing sustainable goth fashion haul, whatever it is, buzzwords. I hope you learned a little bit maybe about like how like available sustainable fashion is, even for alternative clothing. Most websites these days have at least a vintage section, and when you're shopping vintage, like that's literally secondhand shopping, like, so that's still like kind of like a sustainable idea, even if you're not buying from a company that is essentially sustainable. So like Dollskill, for example, they have a vintage section where they sell very higher priced vintage items, but they are Dollskill. So if you liked this video, feel free to subscribe and like it and share it and do all those things. If you want to check out more of my style stuff, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I'm always posting pictures on there of outfits and makeup, and I do a lot of photography stuff at Walrus. And you can also check me out on my blog at the Walrus Room. Everything that I ever do is updated on there. So check me out there. Have a wonderful day.